Hello everybody, hey, welcome back to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. And I'm back at you on August 3rd, 2:50 a.m. California time with a little bit of egg on my face, ordered from eBay. Those Old Style team set cards from Wrigley Field for the Cubs. I thought it was going to be the complete set, but it was just one of the packs they gave away on a certain day, which did not have my PC Andre Dawson card in it, which is what I was hoping that I was getting, but still just epic cards. They're just perfect for this channel, folks. Look at that. Old Style, sponsored, All-Century Team Cubs from 1999. Got Lee Smith, Sammy Sosa before his troubles, Bruce Sutter, Joe Tinker, Billy Williams, and the great Hack Wilson. So I just picked that up, but I was expecting to get my Andre Dawson one in here, but there's numerous other players, so I guess you just got 7 cards at certain games. And so unfortunately this pack is not one of the ones with Andre Dawson, but I will get that at some point in time. And Frank Chance too. Skipped over Frank Chance. And here's the back, so we'll show you the great Hack Wilson in his epic year that he had. 56 home runs, 356 batting average, and 190 RBIs. Just insane in 155 games, folks. That was crazy. Alright, and watching my other video where I show the Walking Dead stuff, I showed this card, but it was coming in very blurry, so I just wanted to show the back of this again. So the front came out fine. Lori from The Walking Dead. It's got a little plastic screen shield, plastic over that card under this frame. And but it wasn't coming in clear, and it's kind of funny, the video's playing in the background right now while I'm showing this card, so just figured I'd show you guys that again. Now what today I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you some super cool relics that I've picked up. And I'm going to do this right now because in honor of this prize that I'm sending out to old Roy, Matthew, repurposing this box. So he won my code breaker contest. Which part of the code breaker contest was he would get one of the boxes that came from the Sportkings Volume 5 that I just picked up about 3 months ago. I picked up like 5 or 6 blasters. I did a video on all that. And each blaster came with a little pack of mini cards and like your hit. And it also came with the actual base cards in a little like playing card box. And so part of my contest a couple weeks back was for somebody to crack the code, because I like Allen Ginter, so it was a little code that you had to deduce from what I was doing on the screen and the little message that I showed, figure out what the cards that I was showing, what they all had to do. They were clues to the answer, what movie was I talking about. And Roy, Matthew, responded that quick. It was right. And it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because I showed some Cracker Jack planes that I had recently picked up. I showed those locomotive cards, tobacco cards that I'd picked up, and then 2 Danica Patrick race cars. And so he was able to deduce that it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but I had given everyone a week to submit a response. And all they had to do was comment, be a subscriber, like the video, comment, and be living within like the United States or Canada. And they would get that box of cards. But that's not the way I roll. I wasn't just going to send them just one box of cards. I asked him what it is that he liked. He sent me an email, told me the kind of stuff he collects. So I put together a little package of cards and stuff to send him. And I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to show the stuff that I'm shipping to him, but I'm not going to release it until after he tells me he received it, so that it won't be spoiled. Just to show the kind of stuff that if you pay attention, you might be able to win from old Rob at Old Style Classics baseball cards. So today we are going to be doing Sportkings, and this is from a different volume than what I'm sending Roy, but I am sending him a pack of these. I'll admit that much. But what I'm going to show you today is the hits that I've received from Sportkings, and I'm going to open this old pack that I've had sitting around here since, oh my god, it must be 2018 when this one came out. Now they did Sportkings as well in the earlier like 2009, 10, 11, somewhere around there. Then it went away for a while, and then it came back. And so these are volume 1, I believe, and now we're up to volume 5, and it just kind of continues. So like if volume 1 was like 1 through 30, then volume 2 is 31 through 60, and so on and so forth, something like that. But I have a couple extra packs of these. I'm going to open this when I show you the cards that after I'm done showing you these hits that I received. Now I put these in order by year, so unfortunately some of the better ones might show up right off the bat, but that's okay because you guys will get the payoff. Well, maybe I'll go backwards. How about doing that? Yeah, why don't I do that? This way you get to the anticipation of the best cards will be near the end. There we go. That works for me. Alright, so we're going to start with this last one, which is from the volume 5, which is, so I'm sending him a base card box, the complete volume 5 base cards. It's like 30 cards in that little box, or 20 some odd cards. But we'll start with this one. So here's the stuff I'm going to show you folks, is the Sportkings memorabilia cards that I got, because I've never gotten an autograph from it. But if you ever look at somebody opening, these are from Blasters, but if you ever see anyone opening one of these Sportsking hobby boxes, just some beautiful stuff, just some epic Relic autograph on card, and just some wonderful stuff that they do in the hobby. This kind of stuff you're guaranteed to hit in the Blasters. So there's Kirby, Ewing, and Torch. So her and the dog Torch, I'm assuming the dog's Torch, with that red piece of Relic there, shirt or something. And so you can read that there. Now these aren't dated, but these were just this last year, so sometime in 2024. I believe I picked these up in like March or April. So Sportkings, distributed by Sage. So I don't know if that means it was done by Sage or if it's just distributed. So please pause that and read it if you want to hear about or read about that. And if I've been sick lately, folks, my throat's pretty raw because I've been sick, if that tells you anything. Please change the speed on your video up to like 1.25 or 1.5, and I might sound a little more normal. Alright, so there we go. Then next, we got a base version of Brittany Bow. She looks like Speed Skater there. Speed Ice Skater with a piece of that black uniform, it looks like. And you can read this here. You've received a Sportsking Volume 5 memorabilia card. Features pieces of speed suit worn by Brittany Bow during an official race. Brittany has set the 1,000-meter world record multiple times during her career. Sportsking LLC guarantees the authenticity of memorabilia embedded in this card. Oh boy, I always have trouble saying authenticity if you watch my videos, but that's super cool. I'll leave her there for a second because I also pulled her numbered to 50 red version. So that's pretty cool. So you can see the differences between those two cards here. 48 of 50. And it's got the red back as well. So the red back's a little nicer, a little maybe easier to read. Basically the same exact information. But still, these are some neat stuff that you know, maybe you would only find in like Goodwin Champions or maybe occasionally out in Ginter. But Sports King, much like those two kinds of sets, you will get some oddball athletes in there. And like I said, the only place you're ever going to see those would be in like Goodwin Champions, Allen and Ginter, and some of the upper, maybe Panini stuff, but that's mostly in the past, like Golden Age and all that. But unless you were to buy like Olympic cards or something like that, but that's super cool. So that's a nice little pickup. And I like this stuff. It's only 20 bucks for a blaster. You get some memorabilia, some different sports stars from the past or people who otherwise wouldn't be in the limelight. And so for as cheap as it is, and they're cool little cards, which we'll see when I open that pack there. But then you get some pretty decent names too. Now these ones with just the jersey thing, I'm not the biggest fan of these because it doesn't show an image, but maybe it's a licensing issue. But a game worn from Rich Gannon, so NFL football from volume number 4. So there you go. How many of y'all remember Rich Gannon, quarterback? So this one has a little bit different back because it's one of the Legends memorabilia, and hopefully that's coming in clear. This one doesn't have the date. PC uniform worn by 2002 NFL Most Valuable Player Rich Gannon during a professional football game. So there you go. That's cool. So I would imagine these would have been 2023, based on the fact that we're going backwards, folks. So I hope y'all liked that episode where I did show the Panini Golden Age stuff with Willie Nelson and Hank Williams. So those are pretty cool. Alright, next, volume 3. So that last one was volume 4, the only one I have for that year. Now we're going to move on to volume 3. Look at that, folks. Reggie Miller. So NBA legend Reggie Miller. Just unfortunately on the wrong team, but one of the best players of a generation. Reggie Miller, piece of his jersey for the Indianapolis Pacers. Indiana Pacers, sorry. Based in Indianapolis. Alright, let's see. Line number 3, a piece of uniform worn by Reggie Miller. Professional basketball game, okay. So, probably 2022. Not dated. Here's a super cool one, folks. Now this one's a little thicker, so I probably should get a little bit bigger top loader. But this is another, I mean, that's a cool one to have. But it's still just kind of a napkin relic, and so a little less desirable just because of the basic one. But look at this one, folks. Sports Legends, Sports Kings. You've received a Sports King Volume 2 Legend Memorabilia card. On the front of this card features a piece of jersey worn by Tim Duncan during a professional basketball game. So the great Tim Duncan and their little championship runs back then for the San Antonio Spurs. And this one's a cool one because it's not just a regular old napkin relic. Look at that, folks. That's from a blaster, people. So yeah, that may not be the best image or anything. Oh, maybe you get this kind of stuff from Leaf too, maybe. but probably more the autographs from these kind of random people. But look at that, folks. It's got a tricolor in there, that black, white, and gray pinstriping there. Just super cool. Looks like that may be a roadie, so I don't know, a road uniform. So maybe that's navy blue. Look at that, folks. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, champion. We're not even done, folks. Now, they're not all going to be that good, but they're still pretty cool. Alright, next from Volume 2. 2020, it says on these Volume 2s, is Roy Francis, so hockey. So all you Canadians up there, the other people who watch my show, my Old Style Classics, is Canadians, and there you go. Premium piece of the hockey sweater, as they would call it, jersey. And that is Ron Francis. So I'm not as familiar with hockey players by name. I love hockey, but I don't follow it enough to know the people that well, unless they're on the Blackhawks. But there you go. You have received Sportsking, blah blah blah. Worn by 3-time Lady Byng Award winner and Hall of Fame member Roy Francis in a professional hockey game. So probably a hockey Hall of Famer, I'm assuming. Maybe that's what some of that means. But nevertheless, it looks like Pittsburgh, maybe. A Penguin, perhaps. Maybe old Mangini knows. So that's pretty sweet. Now here's some of the more oddball people, but they're still pretty cool. So this is Sportsking. I believe we are now up to Volume 1. So the original that came out in 2018. This is SMCM1. Sportkings, congratulations. Now these are cooler looking cards too. Is a piece of the wetsuit or life jacket worn by 19-time world PWC champion Chris McCullage during a pro tour race. So I think this is I want to say like a kayaking or triathlete or something like that. So there you go. That's cool. Patch relic of a wetsuit. It looks more like wetsuit to me than a life jacket, but who knows. But that's super cool. Like, when's this guy ever gonna get a card, folks? So that's cool. I dig this kind of oddball stuff. I know some of you guys are just into baseball or other main sports and stuff like this, but I kind of dig this stuff. It just reminds me of like original cards like Allen and Ginter and Goodwin. You know, it was more champions and people of interest in all kinds of sports like boxing and billiards and shooting and wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So I like the random, you know, it's not like I'm trying to put together a complete set. It's just to get a few rando people here and there. And since it's out of a blaster that's only like $20, big deal. You know, like if this was my only hit from Goodwin Champion and I spent $100 on an Upper Deck product and I got a scuba diver and a lenticular card and some manufacturer patch as my 3 hits, yeah, then you're a little more upset because you paid $100. So it definitely wouldn't be worth it if it was that kind of expense. But like I've said, if you go look at some of the hobby boxes of this stuff, some of the hits are just huge. But nevertheless, this is cool for the price, and I think it's neat. And that's cool for this dude to get a card. Who knows, maybe Allen and Ginter will put old style classics baseball cards, Rob, on a card someday because I'm a huge advocate of Allen Ginter. I'll do Goodwin Champion too if they'll get rid of those modern style cards and go back to the old school. Now here's a cool one too, folks. Any of you people fishing fans watch the fishing channels? So look at this guy, Kevin Vandam. Another epically cool patch. Kind of has that Pittsburgh look to it, that yellow, black, and white. It's a professional fisherman there. Piece of shirt worn by Kevin Vandam during a professional fishing tournament. So that's super cool. Just, those are, I mean, you don't even get these kind of relics out of like Allen Ginter that often. I mean, occasionally, but at least they go all out. I know that this guy probably has a lot more stuff that he can give them because he's only going to be in there that 1 year, but it's just cool to pick up some really nice, not just plain old stuff like when you see these bigger people, but they can't always do that. And why do I say that? Because the next card is the reason why. So Tom Condon, hey everybody, don't forget today it's August 3rd, 2024, and today is International Trading Card Day, so make sure you go out to your local card shop so you can pick up your free packs of cards that old Tops and whoever are giving away. And I know that they're going to have like a super limited Shohei Ohtani, I think, and maybe Juan Soto, somebody like that. Alright, so that's just a patch relic. And he's just an agent, but super agent. You know, so like sports agent. Now you will see this kind of stuff in Allen Ginter agents every now and then, but that's still kind of neat. It's not costing me much, folks. Alright, now we're down to the big three. So I don't think you could be disappointed in these last three cards if you're into sports at all. Maybe the next one after this, but look at this, folks. Hakeem Olajuwon. Look at that multicolor basketball jersey there from the Houston Rockets. So look at that, and it's got the image of him on it, so even cooler. Jersey worn by NBA's all-time blocks leader Hakeem Olajuwon during an NBA game. So they even used even talked about an actual NBA on this one. So that's just super cool. Look at that, folks. Not in his house, right? Stay out of his lane. Probably a guy he went up against a lot. Now this is a cool card. It doesn't have the image like the last one, and it's a bit of a napkin relic, but it's still, look at the name, folks. Patrick Ewing. And that ain't from Georgetown there. That's part of the Patrick Ewing New York Knickerbockers. So super sweet. One of the Legends memorabilia 2018. Piece of game worn New York Knicks jersey worn by Patrick Ewing in an NBA game. So there you go. Just super cool. Good job, Sportkings, Sage. Now, give him one more look. Now here's the big one for me, folks. This is just super epic. It's a lot thinner than the other ones, but you know, this is one of those things where, much like Babe Ruth or Ty Cobb or Joe Jackson and all these people, you know, they weren't doing this kind of stuff when they were playing, and so their memorabilia and stuff is very limited, and clearly one of the greats of all time, and it's super important to me because he's from my team. And I'll show you the back first. This is Sportsking Memorabilia-WP. So who could that be, folks? None other than the GOAT of running backs, piece of jersey worn by Chicago Bears legend Walter Payton during a professional football game. So look at this, folks. Walter Payton, rest in peace, with greatest running backs of all time. Sweetness. And sweetness is this card, because it's not just that little jersey hanging up on a hanger. This is an actual... Oh, hang on a second, folks. Hey, sorry, folks. Had to pause you for a minute there. My wife came out. Woke up a little overheated. It's a little hot in here. Let's turn the air conditioner down so I could do these videos. But look at this, folks. Are you ready? Here it is, Walter Payton, the GOAT. Boom, look at that. Is that not a beautiful, beautiful card? And my Bears won the Hall of Fame game, even though it was cut short by lightning and all that. But not looking too bad. Defense is still a little shaky, but we'll see how that goes when you get your main players going. But look at my man, Walter Payton, the great. I mean, just what can you say, people? It's Walter Payton. I mean, all these other cards are cool. Tim Duncan, Elijah Wan, Patrick Ewing, all those guys are great. But Walter Payton, man, talk about Chicago having a run of just some great players back in the 80s, even though our teams weren't always the best. But, you know, we had like the Ryan Sandbergs, the Andre Dawsons, the Walter Paytons, the like Richard Dent and Singletary and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Just epic run for Chicago. Just some of the greatest players at the time. Now, I'm sure most cities can make claims with their own other players and all that, and that's quite valid, but man, sweetness was something else to see. All right, folks. So before I move on from that, in honor of the fact that I'm giving a Volume 5 to Matthew and at least a pack of these have been sitting around since 2018, because I opened enough of them that I started just getting repeats. I like these packs, even though they're kind of that papery foil. It kind of reminds me of how Sugar Smacks would come back when you were a kid. Remember, like Sugar Smacks and those ones that they didn't want to get all stuck together or humid, came in these little foil wrappers on the inside of a cereal box. So, but now it's been enough years that I'm ready to see who's in this little set. I guess you could read that if you want. I don't believe you can get any hits out of these actual packs, just because they come in their own special pack. So, something satisfying about that crinkling and ripping. Sugar Smacks, folks. Alright, let's see what we got. So, Howie Long, there you go. Now this would have been the year that Walter Payton came from. So maybe we'll pull a Walter Payton. But there you are. Those are beautiful cards. These are the full-size ones, and they do come with a mini. It's not a tobacco mini, but it's like a Gaudy mini. A big league. So those cards, Howie Long. Alright, we did get a baseball player, people. So Enos Slaughter. So that's cool. Look at that image. So when I was talking about Del Nichols on that Star Wars episode about the posters, please go back and watch those last few episodes. Those entertainment cards that I did. But Del Nichols, his like Stan Musial and Willie Mays poster, it's kind of something like that. They'll have an image similar to this with an actual action shot as part of the poster, and then like an image with a little write-up. And so that's kind of that illustrated art that I'm talking about right there. So that's just a beautiful card of him. Look at that. I like these Sportkings cards. I always thought they were kind of a little cheap, but they are cheap, but they're good quality. You know, it's not like the cards are stinky or anything like that. You know, they're just not super glossy or anything like that, but that's what I like. I like these kind of cards. They're old style classic cards. So let's take a look. Pause that, read about old Enos there. Looks like 2,283 hits. Alright. Let's see, he was enshrined in Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985. So that's cool, from the Cardinals. Nice card. We'll get to the mini last. Because you know me, folks, if you've been watching my channel long enough, I'm a mini card fan. Look at this, Mickey Ward, boxer, pugilist. So he even got his nose busted up. A lot of boxing in the news right now during the Olympics, and not for good reasons, in my opinion. Shouldn't put this guy in there against a woman. But old Mickey Ward coming in a little blurry there, so let's give it a chance to refocus. That way you can pause that and read about old Mickey and his doings. Boxing cards are probably in my opinion, I think I like baseball cards first, but I think boxing cards are like the second best looking cards. If you ever see any of these old school boxing cards, they always look pretty cool. Alright. Hey, here we go. So another great from Chicago. Ferguson Jenkins. So another Hall of Famer. Kind of a ghost image of the Cub there on his hat there. So I guess they're kind of getting away with it, but still kind of giving you the subconscious knowing that that's a Cub. I didn't know they wore collars like that at the time either. So one of the greats for the Cubbies, pre-Payton and all those guys I was just talking about. Well, Jenkins, Billy Williams, and Ernie Banks back in the day. Santo. So nice card. So we got two baseball cards out of this little pack, so that's pretty good. Yeah, these are cool cards. I dig it. We get his autograph as well recently, and now this will often happen in some of these packs, that the mini will be one of the same people in that actual pack. So we got the mini Howie Long. So just so you can see, there's full size card versus the Gouty size card is what I call them. Sportkings Gum. Howie Long, pretty cool. One of the greats from back in the day. Wonder if he got to face old Walter Payton. How often? Howie Long. If he did. Let's see. Player of the Year, both 85 and 86. So they might have. It depends whether the Bears played them ever or not. But there you go. That's pretty sweet. So there it is, folks. A mini. And then just some epic relics. I mean, Keem, some cool oddball ones. Tim Duncan. I mean, pretty cool stuff, folks. A numbered one. I mean, I could put multiple ones of these up here. I mean, these oddball ones are some of the coolest ones because they look super cool. And just sweet stuff, folks. So, hey, Roy, I hope you enjoy your cards and your pack of cards and all the other stuff. So you won't be getting anything like this in there. I don't think you'll be getting any minis in there. But hopefully you'll enjoy the base set of Volume 5 version of these things. And thanks for watching Old Style Classics baseball cards and other cards like the great Walter Payton, folks. Alright, see you later. Have a good night. I'll record that episode about Roy stuff, but that won't be released probably for a week or two. Alright, see y'all later. Take care. Bye.